saying, hey, all of a sudden there's 20 boats making the trip from Ontario to New Brunswick. Well, they're not going to come down just for a 2-day tournament. They're going to come down a week ahead of time, as long as we have open practice days for them to get on the tournament waters prior to the event. They're going to come down. They're going to make it part of their vacation. They're going to take a vacation, a week of vacation or a week and a half of vacation from work. And they're going to hook their boat up to their truck and they're going to drive down here. And they're going to spend a week in a hotel. They're going to, all those meals, local restaurants. How much gas are they going to burn through their truck and their boat while they're here? This is about more than just the fishing community in New Brunswick. I mean, yes, that is my primary focus, but we have to look at the big picture. We have to appeal to the business community and let them see, there's this kind of potential financial spin-off for local bars, restaurants, hotels, fueling stations. It's all there. If, God forbid, somebody suffers a mechanical breakdown, well, then our marine dealers are getting involved. Somebody throws a prop and they don't have a spare, God forbid, tears a lower unit off or has some sort of mechanical breakdown. There's all financial spin-off coming back into our province. And on top of that, we're taking a world-class fishery and putting it front and center. Like I said, I know this isn't going to be an event for everybody. I know there are people that are going to say that we're crazy for even talking about it. And guess what? I've been accused of being crazy before, and the accusations don't bother me. It's for the better of our sport, for the better of our province, in my opinion. And as Ian spoke about on his show the other night, there are people who think that fishing will never be anything other than a hobby here in New Brunswick, or in Canada. And I don't think that's necessarily the case. I really don't. I think there is an opportunity to do more. Because if you look at the length of tournament seasons, well, not every province has the same regulations as, then that was one of the complaints that some of the guys, and that's actually what started the conversation originally between Ian West and myself on Facebook that led to me being on his show. There was a discussion about how short the tournament season was, and as it was worded on Facebook, quote, in Canada. And I pointed out Ontario is not the only place in Canada that has bass fishing. So just because the tournament season is only 3 months in Ontario doesn't mean there aren't opportunities to do it elsewhere. And I pointed out New Brunswick as an example. We start tournament fishing here in New Brunswick in May. We don't finish until, with a couple of our primary tour finishes up earlier than this, but then there's a couple one-offs, that will take you into early to mid-October. So, we have May, June, July, August, September, October. We have 6 months of the year tournament fishing here in New Brunswick. So if you intermingle that with Ontario, Quebec, I don't know specifically the regulations in Quebec, but I know they fish a little later in the season there. Because I have friends that travel up to fish the Berkeley B1. So there's 3 provinces right there. And I understand you don't have bass fishing in every province here in Canada. But you start out, say you focus on those 3 core provinces. And then, maybe we squeeze Nova Scotia into the mix and make it a legitimate tour. Why isn't the opportunity? Is there going to be the volume of people that are making their living in the fishing industry here as there is in the U.S.? Definitely not right off the bat. Is it possible? That depends on our business community. Because it's up to our business community to take the sport seriously, which means it's up to us as anglers to represent ourselves professionally, to conduct ourselves professionally, so that our sport can be taken seriously by the business community. So all this comes into play. All this is part of the growth of our sport, the potential for growth of our sport here in Canada specifically. And to our neighbors to the south, anyone who may be listening to this, if you're in a smaller jurisdiction, there's a lot of similarities for you too, as what you could do to attract more attention. And I understand Bass Elite, and your FLW, Walmart, Tour, they're already focused. They have a core group of cities and towns and lakes and rivers that they fish. But that doesn't mean that if you can't put the right package together, that there wouldn't be an opportunity to bring them to your town. It all comes down to the people that are willing to put the effort in. I will have to admit, I am truly blessed here to be surrounded by a core group of guys who are as passionate about this as I am. They take it very seriously. They're as excited about the possibilities as what I am. So those guys are essential if this is going to be a success, because everybody has a little bit different background, and I'm not gonna call. I don't care. Like I said, I've been accused of being crazy, so I don't care that my name is out there right now. I'm not going to call out publicly any of the other individuals who are involved with me. They know who they are. For now, and it's not. I'm not looking for any credit. I'm not looking for a pat on the back. But at the same time, it's bad enough that I'm going to be accused of being crazy by a handful of people. I don't need to spin that off on anybody else for the time being till we're a little further along. And then, I'll be the first person to prop these other gentlemen up and give them all the credit in the world, because without them, this conversation wouldn't even have reached the point that it's reached. And, I'm just the mouthy one of the group, I guess you could say. So I hope I can count on the support from other anglers across New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, Quebec, Ontario. This sport has potential to grow. In leaps and bounds, this sport has potential to grow. We need to take some of the stigma out of it for new anglers, and I think we're starting to break those barriers here in New Brunswick. Like I said on Fear Fishing the other night, you don't need the 21-footer or the 20-footer with the 250 to be competitive. If you can float and keep your fish alive, you can be competitive. It comes down to your own time on the water, knowledge, and experience. So let's encourage new growth. Let's push. Let's not be satisfied with the status quo. Just because it's worked for the last 10, 15, 20, 25 years in your area doesn't mean that that's the only thing that will work. It doesn't mean that that's good enough. It's the same as anything else in life. If you're always satisfied with the status quo, you'll never have more than what you have. If you want to improve in life, and I don't care whether it's in fishing or in your work, in your personal career, if you want bigger and better things for yourself and your family, you have to work for it. You have to earn it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you right now that I'm willing to earn it. I'm willing to work for it, and I'm willing to do whatever it takes to see this sport prosper and grow, and to see bigger and better things coming down the pipe for the opportunity, not just for myself, but for everybody here. I'll be the first to tell you, I don't finish at the top of the field. If I'm able, and our group is able to get an FLW Canada event here, I can almost guarantee that the first year or earlier in the season, or earlier in the life of this career, I'm going to be donating my money as an entry fee. I'm not saying that I don't have the opportunity, but I'm still learning. I just happen to be passionate enough to push for more. I have the same chance every morning when we launch those boats as the next guy. But if it turns out that I am just donating my money as an entry fee, guess what? I'm okay with that if it means the sport will grow. And that's what we have to come down to. It's not about what's best for me. I'm not trying to get bigger tournaments here. I'm not trying to attract more anglers here so I can win more money. I'm trying to do this so the sport can grow. It's about what's best for the support, about what's best for the sport and for our region, not about what's best for me. So hopefully we can, like I said, hopefully we can generate a lot of support, get people talking, get some attention out there amongst the fishing community, amongst the business community, because this is not going to be possible without corporate partnerships. So we need to start generating a buzz. And ladies and gentlemen, if you, especially those of you here in New Brunswick, if you have any clues, any leads on businesses that you think would be interested in being involved in something like this, then by all means shoot me a message. Just drop me a line. Let me know what you've got in mind, who you're thinking of, and let's make this a reality, because New Brunswick's got so much to offer between our smallmouth fishing, our striped bass fishing, our muskie fishing, which is absolutely world class. I learned an amazing amount about muskies this past weekend listening to Brandon Jones speak at the NBSFA flea market. Guys like Joe Tilley that are showing off in a world-class sturgeon fishery. Like, New Brunswick has so much, and not to mention our traditional Atlantic salmon, which is a major tourism draw. Why does that have to be the only tourism draw in New Brunswick as far as fishing goes? We have so much to offer. Let's capitalize on it all. Ladies and gentlemen, I've ranted and raved for almost another half hour again. I'm running out of time. I can't thank you all enough for listening. This has been a pleasure to be able to do this show, and I hope I have many, many more episodes to come. Our tournament season's getting closer, so you'll be getting updates after each tournament, information leading up to each tournament about where we're going to be, reminders. Don't forget, follow myself at Quackers, Quackers 1976 on Twitter and Periscope, at NBSFA on Twitter and Periscope. Providing we are in areas with adequate cell coverage, all NBSFA weigh-ins will be streamed live via Periscope this season. If it so happens we get into an area where it can't be streamed live, it will be recorded and posted to Facebook later in the day. But yeah, follow those Twitter and Periscope pages. Keep an eye on the websites. Keep an eye on the NB Bassin Facebook page as to what's new and what's going on. And if you have any questions for the upcoming shows, any ideas, drop me a line, folks. This has been Donald Patterson. This is NB Bassin. In life and on the water, set the hook, keep those lines tight. We'll see you next time.